In visiting nature, even for a short time, there can be found a level of relaxation that does not commonly exist in our natural world. Around us, we're constantly surrounded by loud motors, like that one passing right now, phones that constantly notify us of things that we're supposed to care about, and people always wanting one thing or another. And through this all, some people manage to push past it. Some people manage to continue to be productive. And this is thought of to have the utmost value in our society. If someone can be productive, then their success is already figured out. Their life is already figured out. There's nothing more they need to do. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. Because, while we may see the things that we love doing as a way to relax, oftentimes our spirits continue running at the same pace they were at work, only different. It's a different environment, working on something you love versus being at work. And it can feel healthy. And in moderation it is. But like anything, perhaps even especially good things, too much of it can hurt you just the same as something that is inherently harmful would. As humans, we are granted limited time here. And this is obvious to many. And this is how a lot of us live our lives, knowing that any day we live could be our last. But we hold a backwards philosophy when it comes to this. We think that the more time we spend gaming, the more time we spend playing guitar, all of these things that can be useful in moderation are healthy all the time. But as much as you need sleep to go to work the next day, you need a healthy spirit for daily life, to be happy and to be healthy. Everything about the earth that we live on requires personal focus in order to achieve what we wish to achieve. But nothing about the way that most people do it is in a spirit of health. Rather, it's in a spirit of what they would like to achieve. I'm sure we've all been there. Productive paralysis. The term I use to call the times when we want to do something, but we want to do something so bad that we refuse to let ourselves relax. But might it be the case that sometimes this is necessary? If I stay up till 4 a.m. editing this video because I procrastinate until midnight, would that be healthy? And in this case, it's obvious to make the point that the deadline isn't for a while. I only post on Saturdays and Sundays, after all. But still, even if the deadline was tomorrow, and it was necessary to do so, we could still agree that staying up to do that would be unhealthy. But sleep isn't the only way we grow. It isn't the only way we regenerate. Every time you relax, you put on your favorite album. Perhaps you grab a glass of water or your favorite soft drink. Something happens. Something that is a lot more valuable than many of the things we put our minds to every day. What we are is inherently energy. Our souls have this creative force. In some of us, it's driven towards art. In some of us, it's driven towards other things like cars or other hobbies. But they all have one thing in common. They require a sort of energy that you can't actually regain from sleep. You can't go to bed early tonight and say, well, tomorrow will be productive. Because if you aren't truly relaxing, you'll stay in this cycle, and it won't matter how much sleep you get. Many of us have faced burnout. In almost every hobby, it applies, but especially creative ones. Because when you try to put a piece of your soul into something, and your soul hasn't regenerated from the last time you did this, you empty yourself. You become much more hollow, twisted almost. And because of this, I've come to the conclusion that the best thing for us to do, the most productive thing for us to do, is not, in fact, to always focus on what our goals are. Because if I strive to finish something, rather than to finish it with spirit, what I am left with is something of little value. Because our dreams and goals inherently have a piece of us in them, a piece of our souls. And if we let go of that, if we say that we can make this without that, then we lose a piece of ourselves. And the thing that we make loses value. It's important to remember this every time we make something, because it is a rule as steadfast as the sun rising and setting. We have limited energy. And there are types that can't be regenerated overnight, over sleep. Some of the most healing experiences I've had have been awake, listening to my favorite album, talking to my best friend, and indeed, sometimes, art. But again, all of these things, which are useful in moderation, often serve no good when we try to make them into something they're not. When we try to make what we make, which is inherently of our souls, out of the substance of our minds, we focus on worldly things, and it destroys us. Relaxation is perhaps the most important thing in keeping a spirit alive. Because to eat and to drink and to sleep, these are all basic needs. To talk to friends, basic needs as well. But at the deepest level, what we all require each and every single day is relaxation. Don't view it as wasted time. Don't view it as a time when you could have been productive. Because what you accomplished instead will pave the road for a much, much healthier future. Thank you for watching.